Have you ever looked around and questioned reality? Maybe you saw something strange, like a glitch in the system, or perhaps you simply wondered if there's more to life than meets the eye. This feeling, this questioning, is at the heart of the simulation hypothesis. Could our entire existence be a sophisticated computer program, a hyper-realistic video game? What if we are all just lines of code living in a digital world? The idea might seem like science fiction, but it's been a philosophical question for centuries. From ancient thinkers to modern scientists, the possibility of a simulated reality has captivated our imaginations. Let's dive into this mind-bending concept, exploring the arguments and implications of living in a matrix-like world. René Descartes, a 17th century philosopher, famously doubted everything he thought he knew. He embarked on a journey of radical skepticism, questioning the very foundations of his knowledge and beliefs. He imagined an evil demon, a powerful entity capable of manipulating his senses and deceiving him about the nature of reality. This hypothetical demon could create a complete illusion, making him believe in a world that didn't exist. How could he be sure that anything was real, that he wasn't just a brain in a vat, fed sensory information by this deceitful demon? This thought experiment led Descartes to question the reliability of his senses and the external world. Descartes' answer to this existential crisis was his famous declaration, "Cogito ergo sum," I think, therefore I am. This statement became the cornerstone of his philosophy, asserting that the act of thinking is undeniable proof of one's existence. He reasoned that even if everything he perceived was an illusion, the very act of doubting, of thinking, proved his own existence. This realization provided a solid foundation upon which he could build further knowledge. This emphasis on the primacy of consciousness resonates deeply with the simulation hypothesis, where the nature of reality itself is called into question. Just as Descartes doubted the external world, modern thinkers ponder whether our reality could be a sophisticated simulation created by advanced beings or artificial intelligence. The power of thought and the certainty of one's own consciousness remain central themes in these philosophical inquiries. Bridging the gap between the musings of a 17th century philosopher and contemporary debates about the nature of existence. Plato, an ancient Greek philosopher, presented a powerful allegory that resonates with the idea of simulated reality, the allegory of the cave. This allegory is not just a simple story, but a profound philosophical exploration of human perception and knowledge. Imagine prisoners chained inside a cave, their entire lives spent facing a blank wall. They are unable to move their heads and can only see the shadows cast on the wall in front of them. Behind them, a fire burns, casting shadows of objects carried on a walkway. These objects are manipulated by unseen puppeteers, creating a distorted reality for the prisoners. The prisoners, having never seen the real objects, believe the shadows to be reality. To them, the shadows are the only truth they know, the only world they have ever experienced. One day, a prisoner escapes and sees the outside world, the true forms behind the shadows. The sunlight initially blinds him, but as his eyes adjust, he begins to see the world in its true form. He returns to tell the others, but they don't believe him. They ridicule him, thinking his journey has made him mad. They cling to their limited perception, unable to grasp the true nature of reality. The comfort of the familiar shadows is too strong for them to abandon. Plato's allegory serves as a potent metaphor for our own potential limitations. It challenges us to question the nature of our reality and to seek the truth beyond the shadows. What if we are like those prisoners, mistaking the shadows on the cave wall for the true nature of existence? Are we too comfortable in our own perceptions to seek the truth beyond? The allegory of the cave invites us to reflect on our own lives. Are we seeing the world as it truly is, or are we confined by our own limited understanding? It encourages us to break free from our chains and explore the broader reality that lies beyond our immediate perception. In a world where information is abundant and often manipulated, Plato's allegory is more relevant than ever. It reminds us to be critical thinkers, to question what we see and to seek deeper truths. Only then can we hope to understand the true nature of our existence. Nick Bostrom, a contemporary philosopher at Oxford University, proposed a thought experiment that has become central to the simulation hypothesis, the simulation argument. This argument has sparked widespread debate and curiosity, not just among philosophers, but also in the fields of science, technology, and popular culture. Bostrom's work challenges our understanding of reality and our place within it. Bostrom argues that at least one of the following propositions is true, and each of these propositions carries profound implications for our understanding of existence. 1. Civilizations like ours go extinct before reaching technological maturity. This means that, despite our advancements, we might never achieve the capability to create highly sophisticated simulations of our ancestors. Perhaps we destroy ourselves through war or environmental catastrophe before we develop the capability to create simulations. The threats of nuclear war, climate change, and other global crises could potentially wipe out humanity before we reach such a level of technological sophistication. 2. Even if we reach technological maturity, we are unlikely to run ancestor simulations. This could be due to a variety of reasons, including ethical considerations, resource constraints, or simply a lack of interest. Maybe we lose interest in simulating the past, or perhaps such simulations are deemed unethical or impractical. The moral implications of creating conscious beings within a simulation could deter advanced civilizations from pursuing such projects. 3. We are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. If advanced civilizations do create ancestor simulations, the number of simulated realities would vastly outnumber the single base reality. If civilizations can and do create ancestor simulations, then the number of simulated realities would vastly outnumber the single base reality. This means that the odds are overwhelmingly in favor of us being in a simulation rather than the original base reality. Therefore, it's statistically more likely that we are living in a simulation. This idea forces us to reconsider the nature of our existence and the universe itself. Are our experiences, emotions, and thoughts merely the result of complex algorithms running on an advanced computer system? Bostrom's argument doesn't prove that we are living in a simulation, but it highlights the possibility and forces us to confront the implications. It challenges us to think deeply about the nature of reality, the future of technology, and the ethical considerations of creating simulated worlds. Whether or not we are living in a simulation, the simulation argument opens up fascinating discussions about the future of humanity and our place in the cosmos. George Berkeley, an 18th century philosopher, proposed a radical idea, esse est percipi, to be is to be perceived. Berkeley's idealism suggests that reality is not independent of our minds, but rather exists only insofar as it is perceived by a conscious observer. In Berkeley's view, objects don't exist independently in the world, they are collections of sensations and ideas in the mind of the perceiver. This concept aligns surprisingly well with the simulation hypothesis. If reality is ultimately information processed by our minds, then a sufficiently advanced simulation could be indistinguishable from base reality. Eastern philosophies, particularly Hinduism and Buddhism, have long explored the illusory nature of reality. The concept of Maya in Hinduism refers to the veil of illusion that obscures the true nature of reality, a kind of cosmic illusion that prevents us from seeing things as they truly are. Similarly, the concept of samsara describes the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, driven by karma and desire. Samsara can be seen as a kind of simulated reality, a realm of suffering and attachment that we must transcend to achieve enlightenment. These Eastern ideas resonate with the simulation hypothesis, suggesting that our perceived reality might be a temporary and ultimately illusory experience.